Hello friends, welcome to our YouTube channel. Today we are going to discuss about the biochemistry. ज़्यादातर स्टूडेंट को केमिस्ट्री समझने में प्रॉब्लम होता है, इसलिए मैंने ये वीडियो बनाया है. आई होप ये वीडियो आपको पसंद आए. सो लेट्स बिगिन. टुडेज सेशन वी आर स्टडिंग अबाउट द carbohydrates. So following points are in our today's session. So first point is the what are the carbohydrates, and second is the classification of carbohydrates. So in classification of carbohydrates there are two types: simple carbohydrate and complex carbohydrate. So simple carbohydrate contain the one sub point is the monosaccharide, example is the glucose, and complex carbohydrate contains the disaccharide, example is the sucrose and maltose, oligosaccharide, raffinose, and polysaccharide, example is the starch. So we are going to our first point, what are the carbohydrates. So what are the carbohydrates? Carbohydrates क्या होता है? तो carbohydrates are the hydrates of the carbon. Hydrates मतलब H2O water. So carbohydrates are the polyhydroxyaldehydes or the ketones or substances which yield such a product on hydrolysis. So carbohydrate contain the aldehyde or ketone groups which going to hydrolysis we give the sugar molecules. So chemical formula of the carbohydrates are the CnH2ON. So it is the formula are matched to the simple carbohydrate. Complex carbohydrate cannot match with this chemical formula. So carbohydrates are also known as sugar. So generally carbohydrates को sugar कहते हैं. For example glucose C6H12O6 or sucrose C12H22O11. So our next point is the classification of carbohydrate. So classification on the basis of two types. So according to the functional group and according to the unit of saccharides. So first point is the according to the functional group, it contains the two types aldehyde and ketosis are the 2 points. So first point is the aldehyde contain the CHO group. So following example we are giving in the table. So it is the glucose. So glucose contain the aldehyde functional group. So first carbon and carbon group which attached to the aldehyde, and second one ketosis which giving example fructose. So C double bond O which is the ketone which is attached to the second carbon atom in the fructose. So our next point is the classification of the carbohydrates according to the number of unit of saccharides. So saccharides मतलब sugars. So unit of saccharides, unit of sugars are classify करते हैं कि कौन से टाइप का कार्बोहाइड्रेट है. So we are having a two types of carbohydrate, simple carbohydrate and complex carbohydrate. So simple carbohydrate contain the one subtype monosaccharide. So what are the monosaccharides? Monosaccharides are the one sugar molecules which are hydrolysis not cleaved to smaller carbohydrates. So hydrolysis is not often or not occur in the monosaccharides. So monosaccharides खुद ही एक smaller carbohydrate होते हैं, उनको और छोटे टुकड़े में बांटा नहीं जाता और हाइड्रोलाइसिस करने के बाद वो स्मॉल नहीं हो सकते, इसलिए it is the one sugar molecule or hydrolysis is not clear. So its properties is the soluble in water, crystalline in nature and sweet in taste. Example is the glucose. Here we given the structure of the D-glucose. So our next point is the complex carbohydrates. So complex carbohydrates contains the disaccharides. So what are the disaccharides? Disaccharides are the two sugar molecule. Disaccharide on hydrolysis is cleaved to two monosaccharides. So on hydrolysis of the disaccharide we are giving the two monosaccharides. So following example is the sucrose. On hydrolysis we are giving two monosaccharides, that is the glucose and fructose. So chemical formula of the sucrose is C12H22O11. So we are going giving product C6H12O6. So chemical formula of the fructose and glucose are also same but having a different functional group. So it is the two sugar molecule. Properties of the disaccharides are the soluble in water, crystalline in nature and sweet in taste. It having also same properties as that the monosaccharide. So example of the disaccharide is the sucrose. Sucrose consists of the two monosaccharides, glucose and fructose. So it contains with the 1,4 glycosidic linkage. So next point is the complex carbohydrates. So complex carbohydrate में oligosaccharides. It is the second point in the complex carbohydrate. So what are the oligosaccharides? So an oligosaccharides is the saccharide polymer containing the small number of component sugars and also known as simple sugars. So it contains the minimum 3 to 8 sugar molecules. एंड इट इज़ द also सिंपल शुगर, और इसको सिंपल शुगर कहा जाता है. सो more than one sugar molecule, it contains the more than one sugar molecule. So properties of this oligosaccharide also same as monosaccharide and disaccharide. It is also soluble in water, sweet in taste and crystalline in nature. So example of the oligosaccharide is the raffinose. Raffinose contains 3 sugar molecules which are the monosaccharides. So next is the complex carbohydrates in a polysaccharide. So polysaccharide is the third point in the complex carbohydrate. So polysaccharides are the relatively complex carbohydrate. Polysaccharides are the polymers of the simple sugars and their derivatives. So polysaccharides are the polymers of the simple sugars. We call the simple sugars to oligosaccharides and their derivatives. So polysaccharides contains the complex carbohydrate or complex structure in their molecules. So it contains the amorphous in nature. So properties of the polysaccharides are the amorphous in nature, insoluble in water, and it is not sweet in taste. So its properties are opposite to that monosaccharides, disaccharide and oligosaccharides. So example of the polysaccharide is the starch. So we are giving the here structure of the starch. So starch contains the 300 to 600 number of molecules of the starch which are the present in structure. So it is the glucose molecule and it are the more number. So it also called as the polysaccharides. So थैंक यू, सी यू सून. तो दोस्तों आपको ये वीडियो पसंद आया होगा तो प्लीज़ इस वीडियो को लाइक ज़रूर कीजिए, क्योंकि लाइक करने से कोई पैसे नहीं मिलते, मगर मुझे नए वीडियो बनाने के लिए मोटिवेशन ज़रूर मिलता है. और आपको ऐसी वीडियो देखने के तो आप मेरे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर सकते हैं. जय हिंद, वंदे.